Morning thought. Let's talk about kink. It isn't the be-all and end-all of sex, but if your characters are kinky, then I'm afraid you're gonna have to learn about that world. So, my darlings, be prepared to delve into some interesting corners of the internet and wonder at what you can find on social media with the right search terms. Because you cannot half-ass kink. If your characters are just learning about it, you can have them consider researching as well. But if they are experienced, then you can't have them making rookie mistakes. Consider what's appropriate for them, and then research until you understand. And this is important. What your characters should. No one likes a dom who doesn't understand about safe words or negotiation. And no one likes someone who claims to be into hardcore BDSM, but doesn't know that there are different kinds of floggers. Everyone has their limits, and so, if you're writing a character who's respectable, and who's supposed to represent any kind of kink community, well, you're going to have to learn enough about your character's respective interests to at least sound like an expert. You don't have to have experienced impact play, pet play, or bondage yourself to be able to describe it. But you do have to have watched videos. There are actually some extremely good instructional videos on all those topics and more out there. Or have read articles, or, even better, talked to people who have. Hell, there's even YouTube channels dedicated to these subjects. So I'm afraid, my sweets, you have no excuse not to do the kink in your story justice. Now, if, on the other hand, your character's the kind of character who would intentionally not negotiate, or ignore safe words, or tie people up against their will, then you can have the other characters think about how wrong that is. It's a great way to let your audience know that A, you are aware that it's wrong, and B, which is far more important, that they know that it's not acceptable behaviour. Within most kink communities, intentionally crossing someone's boundary is a massive red flag, but it does happen. The fallout, however, from that is usually rather spectacular, and as far as your story's concerned, can be just as interesting as stepping over the line itself. Kink is far more than dressing up and a few occasional floggings. It can be as detailed or as immersive as you want it to be. There's a reason that people within the BDSM community call it a lifestyle. Consider what being ostracized from an entire community today can do. And is your character actually willing to risk that? If they are, why? What need does it fulfill within them? And how will it affect their partner? We're all a little kinky to some degree. So, my darlings, learn about your character's interests and consider just how far down that particular rabbit hole they're willing to go. But most of all, my sweets, keep on writing.